Hey, hi, it's me, tmcraze. I'm gonna go over some of the Reiichi walls I use on some of the maps in Strinova. On some of the maps, however, I do not actually play Reiichi at all on them because they're just off to play on, but, you know, if I'm given the opportunity to play Reiichi on the other maps, I will play them. The two maps I really don't play Reiichi on, and I really don't recommend people play Reiichi on, is 2, I say 3, because it's really just like a 3, and then the 4 you can just play Reiichi on, but one of them I still don't, is Base 404, Area 88, and Port Euler. 404 is a small map where the sites have a lot of sight lines where the enemy can already be set up, so you kind of throwing down your wall doesn't mean a whole lot, and you don't really have like a ton of like creative options to do your stuff on Base 404. Area 88 is just large. You're gonna get shot before you can even get your walls down. And even then, there's some safe walls, but they still kind of suck ass. And then Port Euler is the exact same issue as 88, where it's large. But now there's nooks and crannies where you can just get fucking shot and fucking die. And also those nooks and crannies make it hard to cover every single angle possible. Like, there's not really a good way to fucking do Euler. The other 4 maps are easily doable. But I don't play Reiichi on Space Lab. I'll still go over Reiichi walls for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the other 6 maps. I just won't go over Reiichi walls for Euler because it's kind of like a futile thing. And this is kind of like gonna be done all raw because I think I can get everything done concisely. Just bear with the pausing and the stutter. Anyway, to start off here, let's go do Base 404. A map I really don't recommend you play Reiichi on, but hey, you can play this guy on there, so who am I to stop you from playing him? You're not gonna have like the best time in the world doing it, but hey, you know what? Never say die, right? Never say die. So, Base 404, if you're wondering why my character is moving fast, why Reiichi's moving fast here, it's because I have settings on to make this like less painful for me.
Get to the target.
Really, the only one I know of, coming from, what is it here? Checkpoint here, A main, is that you just kind of come on these stairs here and you angle it like this. If you'll kind of see on the map, I'm kind of angling it more towards like the sidewall where the attackers can see you, and I just go like this. And what this will do is that it will, block off the door here so that they can't see into it, and it'll also block off the entrance from here. Just that, again, you're not gonna really be blocking off the backside or anything like that. None of the Reiichi walls for A will do this, and they're both kind of just precarious as heck. So, you know, keep that in mind. The next wall here is if you're coming over from from control room testing range. If you want like a pretty good wall that you can do from cover and stuff, you can come into this corner, aim it like this, do a jump because of a comment that said, you know, like you can do this, and hey, look, you'll block off like a deeper part of the entrance here, and you'll block off the line of sight into control room here. I don't know what these callouts are. I like to just call this like back A, but you can call it whatever you want to call it, right? But you can see it's kind of like a pain for defenders to kind of go through. And then also naturally just kind of blocks off, you know, the part down here that leads into testing range. Middle here, testing range, I guess. You can kind of come along here. But you can kind of come along here, and if you want to do it like this, you can throw the wall down like this. It'll cut all the way through middle, and it'll also cut into the spawn here, so that they can't really peek into. Like, say somebody's already here, like, you know, whatever. You can peek into there. If you're going for like a pure mid cross, it kind of doesn't really matter what you do, because you can just kind of throw it like this, and it'll still be like the same effectiveness. But if you're going for like pure min-max, and you can do it the other way, and then, you know, that'll also work. And finally, for B, there's really only one good option for B. You just come along this wall, ideally more pushed up and making sure that, you know, that's clear. And you just kind of like aim like this, do a small jump and then just this. So then you block off the window there from them peeking, and you block off this line of sight into spawn. But you know, they can still see you and stuff. It's mainly just to get the cross from the window here. All right, now that we're done here, let's go over to Area 88. This is another map I don't really play Reiichi on, but hey, I've seen people play Reiichi on this map. I kind of cry when people play Reiichi on Area 88, but you know, kind of can't really say a whole lot about that. Also, just in case it kind of wasn't clear, you should always kind of just work your way towards A3, Awakening 3. Chosen Ones. The light screen turns semi-transparent for nearby allies while remaining opaque to enemies. Like, that is kind of like the de facto awakening to have on Reiichi. If that wasn't kind of obvious enough as is. So, coming into walkway here, walkway B, you have 3 options here. 4 technically, because you can do this. It's like kind of like the worst of the 3 options, but you can do this and it will work just fine. I'm not going to do it, because realistically, what you kind of want to do is something like this. You throw a smoke, and then you come in, and you kind of cut the, the Reiichi wall like this. And doing this will not only cut off the little cubby here, but it'll also cut the line of sight from this walkway so that you can just kind of come into sight and all you have to really worry about is heaven there. Or whatever you want, or whatever this is called. What do they call this? Monument? They call this monument. So yeah. You have this option. Or, if you're coming from tunnels and you kind of want to do it from inside of the tunnels, you can do it like this. And then just double jump. And hopefully by the time you come out, it'll cut off like the deeper part of the line of sight here, while also still cutting off the cubby here so that they can't peek. I mean, obviously they can kind of like jump over and shoot through it like this, but like, who's gonna really do that, right? So you're effectively covered and you can kind of go for the plant. Again, there's not really a good way to deal with monument until the 3rd option here. But even then, this 3rd option is mainly meant for like a full-on like monument push, and you kind of can't do anything else with it. And barely anybody does this anyway, so you kind of just come in like this, line it up like this, and then you kind of go from the balcony here to this, to this, and then you just do a full-on monument push, and then you just take the entire part of monument, clear out the entirety of like garden here, and then you just plant. It's not really like super preferable to do this one, but you can do it and it can work. Middle doesn't really have any options because you're kind of like screwed either way. But coming from what is it, middle to cargo area to police agency or whatever, PUS range. If you're coming from here, you can just kind of line up like this, and then just aim it like this. Light screen activate. And then you're covered from the little window there, and this window, and just come in from the back here. Either going straight to B, or you can wrap around and just shoot into the people here. I would honestly prefer, like, if you're gonna do this and I play with you, I would honestly prefer we just go wrap to B. But hey, you can also fight for A. Like, you can also push through it and do the same thing. Because when you do this as well, you can also just use this as a way to like peer through with A3 and just start shooting at people like here, like on the side and stuff. Like, it's very plausible. And then, you know, if you're coming from Avenue A, we're already going to assume that you've dealt with this guy, or like that they're pushed back, and then like, because you can't kind of just fully hide from this guy, and like you'll be fine. And you kind of just like put yourself in the corner here. Line yourself up kind of like this. If you'll, again, I'll zoom into the mini map and post, and you'll see kind of what I'm lining up with. Do a small jump. Do this. And then this will...
The light screen is ready.
This will block off the line of sight from here in bank, while also at the same time letting you scale up. You can double jump for greater effect, but it'll leave your feet exposed, which is kind of like not the best idea in the world, right? So obviously you still need to deal with the guy here in bank window, but you know, if you're coming from avenue anyways, you have to be dealing with bank window to begin with, so it's like not really the end of the world. Again, I won't be touching Euler, so we're gonna be going to Windy Town next. Windy Town has like some nuance to it, but it's not a whole lot of nuance to it. There's just some options you can use for Windy. I mean, there's some options you can use for any map, but like... So for A, one of the options here is that you can kind of like line yourself up like this. Something more like this. Is that it'll let your teammates scale up the stairs here, and it'll block you from the Grand Hotel window over there, and this entire area peering into it, and it'll let you go into garden, which you already need to fight for anyways. So doing this is pretty, like, they all pretty much do this in high elo, I'm pretty sure. But if you kind of just want to guarantee the plan, you have a few different options. You have this one, which you can kind of do like this, and this will block off most, like, the entirety of garden and let you peer with A3 into it, and then you can just kind of plan, and then you have room to like kind of fuck off of it and stuff. Or if I wait for the screen to go down, because I don't want to do it while the screen is still up. You can come into the box here, put yourself here, and what you're essentially looking for is this line. And you can kind of just like line it up like this. And this instead will cover the light screen is ready. The window here from what is it, the left side of Grand Hotel, so that they can't shoot the planner. Like, it kind of depends on what you want to do, but you know, there are different options here. That wall is probably not the safest option because your options are so limited, but you know, you have various different ways on how you want to do it, right? Coming into middle here, if you want to go from mid to A, you can put yourself into the corner, align yourself up with the left side of the doorway like this, and throw a Reiichi wall. And this will let you kind of cross into A really easily from middle. Alternatively, if you have A3, you can peer into middle like this, and then it's just kind of like a pain in the ass for them. Mid to B is not a whole lot because you don't really need Reiichi for this anyways. You kind of just throw down a, say this was a smoke, you just kind of throw a smoke here, and then you just cross. And that's kind of like your entire goal, because you wanna, what is it? Because you wanna get here and like take control of this space on the bridge. And really for B, there's only one good option that's really just kind of static and safe. But you have to time it right, because if you do it wrong, or if the enemy team has like Fuchsia, Nobu, I mean, they're gonna have Michelle, but like, if you don't get rid of that stuff, or you know Nobu Naga has his ultimate or something, right? Like, it's not really gonna work because it's a really confined space. But you go something like this,
light screen activate.
And that's basically like the safest way for you to throw a, what is it?
The light screen is ready.
Throw a wall for B site. And then you just throw the, what is it? what is it, the Lomi knife here to stop anybody from pushing through the wall. And for some reason, if you want to come over here, you can kind of go something like this,
Light screen activated.
where you put yourself in the corner there, throw the Reiichi wall like
The light
this.
screen is ready.
Then now you have a free, what is it, line of sight into this little 90-degree hallway here. And they can't really push you from, what is it, from this side. It's kind of copium, if I'm gonna be honest, but hey, you know, you can do it too. Nobody's actually really done it in like across all the ranks in the Chinese version, but hey, it's there. And then next is Space Lab. Space Lab doesn't really have a whole lot either. Like especially for this map in particular, I know very little walls for Space Lab. Very little. But there is still some stuff you can do with Space Lab that can make it work out. So assuming you've taken A long here, warehouse, and your Lawin's thrown the knife here, and your Ming's thrown the ball around this area, and you want to go away, you can do it like this from a set spot like this,
Screen activated.
or you can do it more on the fly, where you can kind of come up more, and do it more like this, so that you can, what is it, cover more of the backside here, so that they don't actually get the idea to push through it. Either option really works, but that's really your only good option for crossing directly into A with a Reiichi. You obviously kind of have to wait for your Reiichi to set this up, but like it shouldn't be that hard if they actually know what they're doing. To cross from mid to A here though, you kind of want to throw a wall like this, where it'll block off the window here,
Ready.
and then you're basically allowed free passing into what is it, into corridor B here. And because you set it up like, and then for B, there's like really only one good option that I'm aware of. I'm gonna really be saying that a lot, huh? Like, one good option. I don't really know what other string of words to use for that, because I'm kind of dumb. And that's just kind of like how cut and dry it is with Reiichi. You kind of do the walls, you know, and it kind of just either works or it doesn't work because your people either can't get a kill or they're just genuinely dumb. But you can kind of freestyle it regardless. You can do it from like any part here or like back here. But the baseline is that you can kind of go like this, set it up however way you want. Like you can also do it like this. You can go like this.
Screen activated.
And this will just cut off the entirety of the back of
The light screen
B
is
here and stop them from even attempting to want to push from the stairs here in power room. And then you can kind of see, like, even though they'll have this, like they don't really want to push this because like they're just gonna get shot and stuff. If you do it a bit more deep, it's kind of like way more threatening, because
Light screen
what you can do is something like this, where you have more of the
The light screen is
sight
ready.
to play with. So you can kind of be like B here. And what the attacker and what the defenders have is not really a whole lot. And they just kind of feel like choked in. Like you can kind of see, like even if you have like this small space, it's kind of rough to be here because there's not really like a lot of good options. And if you step into the Reiichi wall, you're gonna get scanned.
3,
Alright, so now we're here
2,
on Cauchy Street.
1. You're the bomb carrier.
You've
Get
got
to
a
the
few
target.
options for A actually. And they're all pretty decent at all things considered. The standard one you can kind of do from anywhere. Like if you want the safer option, do it like this. Put yourself in the corner, aim like this.
Screen activated.
And then this will
The light screen is ready.
cut through like that, and what is it? Block line of sight and stuff like that. But the bigger one though, however, if I kind of just go like this,
Light screen activated.
so I kind of wanted to cut off more of the box here real quick. Yeah, that's better. Anyway, the bigger part here is that you're allowed to kind of go into here, the back alley, and you can just kind of peer into spawn from here and just wreak havoc. And if they stay here, they're kind of screwed, and you can just run them over. There's also a different option you can do if you want to like purely cut off the balcony area. We can kind of go like this.
Light screen activated.
And this doesn't cut off the backside,
The light screen
but
is
it does let you just do like a full-on plant, and this full-on just blocks any attempt, and you kind of just get it for free. Again, you don't have the wall peering into back alley, so they can kind of just like come in here and start shooting you, but I'm assuming that if you're gonna want to do this, you're gonna want to come into back alley here so that they can't do that. Although I myself don't really use that one too much because that's kind of too complicated for ranked. B, you don't really actually have a wall to assure a plan at B. You really only kind of use B as like a transportation route where you kind of throw a general wall like this to cut off most of the angles on one side, and then you just go from B to C or B to A. In this case, B to A. Like if you're actually trying to plant B, it's kind of a nightmare. The way this is set up, you can absolutely plant for B, but you're just gonna get surrounded, right? So, you know, kind of not the best. And then you also have this too, where you kind of just go like this, block off the window and go for the plant as well. But again, not really desirable. And again, you're kind of just using this to get your way into see if you're ever doing that. I'll show you the normal way that most people will know how to wall off C, which involves the sewers there. But then I'll show you the way that like most of your high-low Reiichis will wall off, and then I'll show like my own little thing. So the normal way is to kind of come into the grates here from signal station or whatever, and then you just throw a wall like this, generally. What this will do is that it'll block off the balcony here, and just like let you plant for free, kind of like wherever you want to plant it. Mostly here though. Only thing you have to worry about is CT here, or High Street. So that's kind of like what you have to worry about. What the high elo players will do is that they'll have the Reiichi come from here actually instead, and kind of do something like this.
Light screen activated.
And then like this will also block off like part of CT, so you can just kind of peer into it with A3. Still blocking off the balcony, but at the same time Reiichi can just kind of stand here and aim into the balcony here, the connector, and just start popping heads. And then finally, my own little secret sauce is that you can kind of like line yourself up like this and get the get the wall to kind of intersect between the left side and the right side of, like, I guess the front and back walls, pillars or whatever. Do a double jump, and then this will work like this, where it'll cut in between both. And this functions also as an A3 wall or A2 wall. And they kind of don't want to push this because even if they jump on the box here, like, they can't really see a whole lot. And it allows your teammates to kind of sit up on the balcony here instead. And again, the only thing you have to worry about again is CT. But you can also just throw a smoke here and it'll do the same thing. And finally, now we're on Cosmite, which will be the map added to the ranked pool during the halfway point of the ranked season. Anyway, you have like two different variations of like two different walls. You have this one from spawn here, which will only cover the site period and nothing else. Like it won't cover the actual like walkway here. Or you can come into here and do the same thing like this. And then now this one will actually cover the walkway and allow you to peer through it. It's a little bit more dangerous to do this one, but it's not it's not really necessarily like that much more dangerous. Because you're already still having to try to like take the space anyways, fighting the Nobunaga, the Naolina, Audrey, Kokona, whoever's here, right? And then from the other wall you can do is that you can come into here and line your wall up like this, do a small jump in this case, and this will cover the area like this and allow you more freedom, like along the A site here. And you know, they don't really want to push through this or like actually like go through the wall if it's like this. The other one, again, if you want like a deeper wall, is that you just go like this.
Light screen activate.
And again, same thing,
Light
just
screen is ready.
just deeper. And you know, it just like it doesn't really change a whole lot, but like again, you can do it from that spot too if you wanna do it from there instead. And again, really nice like open plant spot for A. And then you kind of just play post. Middle, there's not really anything.
Switch to alternate movement.
And if anything, you'd actually kind of want to bring like a Wind Nade or Meredith and just wind your way up to here from bottom middle. But really, the last two walls are from B here, where if you want to come through the right side when you're attacking, you can kind of just go like this and just throw the wall dead ahead. And this will cover, what is it?
The light screen is
Your basic
ready.
necessities for executing into B while also letting your people from up top like take up top as well. And this is typically what I prefer. Honestly, if I can take the right side here. But if the team wants to kind of go through the top here, what I do like to do is like just come into here, look dead
Light
on,
screen activate.
and just throw it like that. And then now you have a
The light
wall
screen
to
is ready.
kind of cross into what is it? Chamber here. You're still gonna have to fight the people in here, so you're gonna need your teammates to kind of not suck. But again, like this is really the only other wall that I'm aware of that like is like remotely viable on Cosmite. Because again, I'd really rather prefer to just do this.
Screen activate.
Like I don't even like try and like angle the wall otherwise to kind of peer more into what is it? Into chamber here, because I don't really think there's a point. Like yeah, this is nice and all, but I think it's just kind of infinitely more viable to not let the enemy like have any sort of space, because you can kind of see here. They kind of can get comfortable just kind of pushing through it and just, you know, murdering you like this. Whereas if you throw it dead on, there's not really any sort of incentive to push through it, because all you have is just this space. And if you step through it, oh wow, now suddenly I can get shot from like a bajillion different angles, you know? Stuff like that. Anyway, I'll see you guys later, and thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, like it. If you didn't, dislike it. If you feel like subscribing, subscribe, and that's about it. I'll see you all later.